James Clear introduces the concept of atomic habits, which are small routines and behaviors performed repeatedly. At first glance, these habits might seem insignificant, but when accumulated over time, they can generate extraordinary results. Clear emphasizes that success is not about making radical changes all at once, but improving by just 1% every day. Part 1. The Fundamentals. Chapter 1. The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. James Clear explains how small habits can significantly impact over time. He uses the analogy of the compound effect, where small continuous improvements accumulate into substantial results. Clear emphasizes that it's not about being 100% better in a single day, but improving by 1% each day. Over time, these small improvements accumulate and create significant change. The author discusses the difference between goals and systems. Goals are the results we want to achieve, while systems are the processes we follow to get there. Clear argues that we should focus more on systems than on goals, as well-designed systems lead us to the desired results more effectively. Goals provide direction and motivation, but systems are what lead to success. Clear also introduces the concept of marginal gains, which is the idea of seeking small improvements in all areas of our lives. By improving by 1% in multiple areas, the benefits add up and create a significant impact. This approach can be applied to any field, from sports to business and personal life. The author presents case studies and real-life examples to illustrate how the power of atomic habits has transformed individuals and organizations. For instance, he talks about how the British cycling team used the principle of marginal gains to become one of the most successful teams in the history of the sport. By seeking small improvements in all aspects of their training and performance, they achieved extraordinary results. Clear also mentions the concept of identity, which is crucial for developing lasting habits. He explains that our actions reflect our beliefs about ourselves. To change our habits effectively, we need to change our identity. For example, instead of trying to lose weight, we should focus on becoming a healthier person. This shift in identity will allow us to adopt habits that align with our new self-image. Additionally, Clear discusses the importance of patience and perseverance in habit formation. Significant changes do not happen overnight. It is necessary to maintain consistency and discipline over time to see tangible results. Clear uses the metaphor of the Chinese bamboo tree, which takes 5 years to grow underground before its shoots become visible. Similarly, our continuous efforts may not show immediate results, but over time, the cumulative effects of our actions will become evident. Chapter 2. How your habits shape your identity, and vice versa. Clear presents the 4-stage habit loop: cue, craving, response, and reward. This process, known as the habit loop, is fundamental to understanding how habits form and persist. Cue. The cue triggers the habit. It could be something in the environment, a specific time of day, an emotion, etc. Cues act as reminders that automatically activate our habits. Craving. The craving is the motivation behind the habit. It is the desire to change your internal state. Cravings are influenced by our motivations and needs, and they drive us to act. Response. The response is the habit itself, the action or behavior we perform. It is the behavior we carry out in response to the cue and craving. The ease with which we can perform the response affects whether the habit forms. Reward. The reward is the benefit we get from performing the habit. It satisfies your craving and reinforces the habit, increasing the likelihood of repeating the behavior in the future. Clear explains that understanding this cycle is crucial for modifying habits. If we want to change a habit, we need to adjust one or more components of the habit loop. For instance, if we want to develop a new habit, we need to create clear and attractive cues, ensure that the response is easy to perform, and provide immediate and satisfying rewards. The author also discusses the importance of the environment in habit formation. Our physical environment can act as a powerful cue for our habits. By designing our environment to make the cues for good habits more visible and accessible, we can facilitate the formation of positive habits. Clear also mentions that habits are a solution to recurring problems in our lives. Each habit solves a specific problem we face. For example, the habit of brushing your teeth solves the problem of oral hygiene and cavity prevention. Understanding the problem a habit solves allows us to design more effective and lasting habits. Additionally, CLEAR introduces the concept of habit automation. Over time, habits become automatic and require less conscious effort to perform. This frees up mental resources that we can use for other tasks and decisions. Automating habits allows us to be more efficient and productive in our daily lives. CLEAR also presents the idea of habit modeling, where we observe and imitate the habits of people we admire or who have the results we desire. Habit modeling can be a powerful tool for adopting new habits because it provides a clear example of what we want to achieve. By observing and learning from others, we can accelerate our own habit formation process. Chapter 3: How to build better habits in 4 simple steps. CLEAR introduces the idea that to change habits, we need to address not only the level of outcomes but also the levels of processes and identity. Outcomes are the goals we want to achieve, processes are the routines we follow, and identity is the belief about ourselves. The author argues that the most effective way to change habits is to start with a change in our identity. Instead of focusing on what we want to achieve, outcomes, we should focus on who we want to become, identity. When we change our identity, our habits naturally align with that new identity. CLEAR presents the concept of identity-based habits, where each action we take is a vote for the type of person we want to be. Every time we perform an action, we reinforce a belief about ourselves. For example, every time you exercise, you are voting to be an active and healthy person. Over time, these votes accumulate and shape our identity. The author also discusses the importance of having clarity about our values and beliefs. By identifying what we truly value, we can align our habits with these values, making it easier to adhere to new behaviors. CLEAR suggests making a list of personal values and using them as a guide for establishing new habits. CLEAR also introduces the 2-minute rule, which is a technique to make new habits more manageable. The idea is that every habit can be started in less than 2 minutes. By simplifying habits and making them more manageable, we reduce resistance and increase the likelihood of success. For example, instead of saying, "I will run a mile," you could say, "I will put on my running shoes." Once we start, it's easier to continue the activity. The author also addresses the importance of feedback in the habit-changing process. Feedback provides information about our progress and helps us adjust our actions to improve. CLEAR suggests keeping a record of our habits to monitor our progress and make adjustments as needed. By keeping a record, we can identify patterns and obstacles that might be hindering our progress. CLEAR also highlights the importance of patience and perseverance in the habit-changing process. Lasting changes take time and effort, and it's important to maintain motivation and commitment over time. The author suggests using rewards and celebrations to keep motivated and recognize our achievements, no matter how small they may be. Finally, CLEAR introduces the idea of habit mentors, who are people who can guide and support us on our habit-changing journey. Habit mentors can provide advice, motivation, and accountability, which can increase our chances of success. Seeking support and guidance from people who have already achieved what we want can be an effective strategy for adopting new habits. Part 2. The First Law. Make it obvious. Chapter 4. Make it obvious. CLEAR introduces the concept of implementation intentions, where we plan specific details about when and where a habit will be performed. This helps to make the habit more obvious and, therefore, easier to follow. Implementation intentions act as clear and specific reminders that help us remember and execute our habits. The author presents studies showing that people who plan specifically when and where they will perform an action are more likely to stick to their habits. By setting a clear plan, we eliminate ambiguity and increase the likelihood of success. For example, instead of saying, "I will exercise," we could say, "I will exercise at the gym at 6 p.m. after work." CLEAR also discusses the technique of habit stacking, which is an effective way to form new habits by linking them to existing habits. Habit stacking involves identifying an existing habit and adding a new habit immediately after. This way, the existing habit acts as a cue for the new habit. For example, after brushing your teeth, existing habit, you could do 10. Chapter 5. The best way to start a new habit. In this chapter, Clear emphasizes the importance of starting a new habit by making it as easy and obvious as possible. He introduces the concept of gateway habits, which are small habits that naturally lead to bigger behaviors. These gateway habits are the first step towards forming more complex routines. Clear uses the example of a man who wanted to develop a habit of reading more. Instead of aiming to read one book a week, he started by reading just one page each day. This small, manageable habit eventually led to reading more books over time. The key is to start small and gradually build on the habit. The author discusses the importance of reducing friction in the environment to make habits easier to start. For example, if you want to go for a run every morning, lay out your running clothes the night before. By removing obstacles and making the desired action the path of least resistance, you increase the likelihood of sticking to the habit. Clear also highlights the concept of habit cues in your environment. By placing cues in strategic locations, you can trigger the desired behavior. For example, if you want to drink more water, place water bottles in frequently visited areas of your home or workspace. These visual cues serve as reminders and make the habit more obvious. Chapter 6. Motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. Clear discusses the role of the environment in shaping our behaviors. He argues that while motivation is important, the environment often has a greater impact on our habits. By designing our surroundings to support our desired habits, we can make it easier to stick to them. The author introduces the concept of choice architecture, where we structure our environment to make the best choices the easiest ones. For example, if you want to eat healthier, organize your kitchen so that healthy foods are more accessible and visible, while unhealthy snacks are out of sight. Clear also talks about the power of context and how our behaviors are often linked to specific contexts. He suggests using context cues to create new habits. For example, you could associate a specific chair with reading, so every time you sit in that chair, you automatically think of reading. The author emphasizes the importance of re-engineering your environment to support positive habits and discourage negative ones. This can involve removing temptations, adding positive cues, and creating an environment that aligns with your goals. Part 3. The second law. Make it attractive. Chapter 7. How to make a habit irresistible. Clear explores how to increase the attractiveness of good habits. He discusses the role of dopamine, a neurotransmitter that plays a key role in motivation and pleasure. Dopamine is released not only when we experience pleasure, but also in anticipation of a reward. The author suggests leveraging this natural anticipation and reward mechanism to make good habits more attractive. One way to do this is through temptation bundling, which involves pairing a habit you need to do with one you want to do. For example, you might only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. Clear also introduces the concept of tempting rewards, where you make the habit itself more enjoyable. For example, if you want to read more, create a cozy and inviting reading nook. By associating the habit with pleasant experiences, you increase your motivation to engage in it. The author discusses the importance of variety and novelty in maintaining motivation. Introducing variations and new experiences can keep habits fresh and interesting. Clear suggests looking for ways to add variety to your habits to avoid boredom and maintain motivation. Chapter 8. How to make a habit attractive. Clear dives deeper into the concept of making habits attractive. He introduces the idea of temptation bundling, where you pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. This technique leverages the immediate gratification of the desired action to make the necessary action more appealing. The author also discusses the concept of habit stacking, where you link a new habit to an existing habit. By doing this, the existing habit serves as a cue for the new one, making it easier to remember and perform. For example, after your morning coffee, existing habit, you could meditate for 5 minutes, new habit. Clear emphasizes the importance of creating positive associations with habits. This can involve changing your mindset and focusing on the benefits of the habit rather than the effort required. For example, instead of thinking of exercise as a chore, focus on how good it makes you feel and the health benefits it provides. The author also suggests using social influence to make habits more attractive. Surrounding yourself with people who have the habits you want to develop can create a supportive environment and increase your motivation. This could involve joining groups, finding accountability partners, or simply spending more time with like-minded individuals. Chapter 9. The role of family and friends in shaping your habits. Clear discusses the powerful influence of social environment on our habits. He explains that we are deeply influenced by the people around us, and our habits are often a reflection of our social circles. The author introduces the concept of social norms and how they can influence behavior. Social norms are the unwritten rules about how to behave in a particular group. By aligning ourselves with groups that have the habits we want to adopt, we can use social norms to our advantage. Clear also discusses the concept of peer pressure in a positive context. Positive peer pressure can encourage us to adopt good habits. For example, joining a fitness group can motivate us to exercise regularly because we don't want to let the group down. The author suggests that one of the best ways to build good habits is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. This makes the desired behavior more attractive because it helps us fit in and belong to the group. Part 4. The third law. Make it easy. Chapter 10. How to make a habit easy. Clear emphasizes the importance of making habits as easy as possible to start and maintain. He introduces the concept of friction and how reducing friction can make habits easier to adopt. The author suggests using the 2-minute rule, where you start with a habit that takes less than 2 minutes to complete. This makes it easier to start the habit and reduces resistance. For example, instead of committing to a 30-minute workout, start with just 2 minutes of exercise. Clear also discusses the importance of automation in habits. By automating parts of the habit, you reduce the amount of willpower and effort required. For example, setting up automatic savings transfers can help you save money without having to think about it. The author suggests creating environmental design to make good habits easier. This involves structuring your environment to support your habits. For example, if you want to eat healthier, keep healthy snacks within easy reach and hide unhealthy ones. Chapter 11. How to stop procrastinating by using the 2-minute rule. Clear introduces the 2-minute rule as a technique to overcome procrastination and make new habits more manageable. The idea is that every habit can be started in less than 2 minutes. By making the habit small and manageable, you reduce resistance and increase the likelihood of success. The author explains that the key to forming new habits is simply to start. Once you begin, it's easier to continue the activity. The 2-minute rule helps you overcome the initial inertia and take the first step towards adopting new habits. Clear presents examples of how to apply the 2-minute rule to different habits. For example, if you want to read more, start by reading 1 page a day. If you want to exercise regularly, start with a 2-minute walk. If you want to write daily, start by writing 1 sentence. By starting with a very small and manageable version of the habit, you increase the likelihood of doing it. The author also discusses the importance of consistency in habit formation. Performing a habit consistently, even if only for a few minutes, can help establish it more effectively. Clear suggests committing to performing the habit every day, even if only for a short period. By maintaining consistency, you strengthen the habit and make it more automatic. Clear also mentions the importance of accountability in habit formation. Sharing your goals and progress with others increases your accountability and commitment. The author suggests finding an accountability partner or a support group to help you stay focused on your habits and provide feedback and motivation. Chapter 12. How to make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible. Clear explores strategies to make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible. He discusses the importance of creating a supportive environment that makes it easier to stick to good habits and harder to engage in bad ones. The author introduces the concept of commitment devices, which are tools or agreements that help you stick to your goals. Commitment devices can create barriers to bad habits and make it easier to follow through with good ones. For example, you could set up automatic savings transfers to make saving money easier, or use a website blocker to reduce time spent on distracting websites. Clear also discusses the importance of designing your environment to support your habits. This involves structuring your physical and social environment to make good habits more accessible and bad habits less tempting. For example, if you want to eat healthier, keep healthy snacks visible and accessible, and remove unhealthy snacks from your home. The author suggests creating habit contracts, which are agreements with yourself or others to reinforce your commitment to your habits. Habit contracts can include rewards and consequences, which increase your accountability and motivation. For example, you could agree to donate to a charity if you fail to meet your exercise goals. Clear emphasizes the importance of removing friction for good habits and adding friction for bad habits. By making good habits easier to perform and bad habits more difficult, you increase the likelihood of sticking to your desired behaviors. Part 5. The Fourth Law. Make it satisfying. Chapter 13. The Cardinal Rule of Behavior Change. Clear explains the importance of making habits immediately satisfying. Since our brains are wired to seek immediate rewards, finding ways to make good habits satisfying is crucial for long-term adherence. The author discusses the role of immediate rewards in reinforcing behavior. When we experience an immediate reward, our brains release dopamine, which reinforces the behavior and motivates us to repeat it. Clear suggests finding ways to incorporate immediate rewards into your habits to increase motivation. Clear introduces the concept of reward stacking, where you associate a reward with a habit to make it more satisfying. For example, you could reward yourself with a small treat after completing a workout, or take a relaxing bath after finishing a productive work session. By associating habits with rewards, you increase their attractiveness and likelihood of repetition. The author also discusses the importance of habit tracking as a way to make habits more satisfying. Keeping a visual record of your progress can provide a sense of accomplishment and motivate you to continue. Clear suggests using habit trackers, journals, or apps to monitor your habits and celebrate your achievements. Clear emphasizes the need for celebrating small wins. Recognizing and celebrating even the smallest achievements can boost your motivation and reinforce the habit. The author suggests finding ways to acknowledge your progress and reward yourself for sticking to your habits. Chapter 14. How to stick with good habits every day. Clear provides methods to maintain consistency in our habits, such as using habit trackers and the principle of never miss twice, which involves not skipping the habit more than once in a row. Consistency is key to forming lasting habits, and Clear offers strategies to keep us on track. The author introduces the concept of habit tracking, which involves keeping a visual record of your habits. Habit tracking helps you see your progress and stay motivated. Clear suggests using calendars, journals, apps, or any other tool that allows you to record your daily habits and track your progress. Clear also mentions the principle of never miss twice, which involves committing to not skipping the habit more than once in a row. This principle emphasizes the importance of consistency over perfection. If you miss a day, make sure to get back on track the next day to maintain your progress. The author discusses the importance of accountability in habit formation. Sharing your goals and progress with others increases your accountability and commitment. Clear suggests finding an accountability partner or a support group to help you stay focused on your habits and provide feedback and motivation. Clear also introduces the concept of rewards and celebrations to maintain motivation. Celebrating your achievements, no matter how small, can boost your motivation and reinforce the habit. The author suggests finding ways to reward yourself for sticking to your habits and recognizing your progress. Clear emphasizes the importance of reflection and review in maintaining good habits. Regularly reflecting on your progress and reviewing your habits can help you identify areas for improvement and make necessary adjustments. The author suggests setting aside time each week or month to review your habits and make any needed changes. Chapter 15. The downside of creating good habits. Clear discusses the potential downsides of creating good habits, such as the risk of becoming too rigid or obsessive. He emphasizes the importance of maintaining flexibility and adaptability in our habits. The author mentions the concept of habit creep, where habits can gradually become more demanding or rigid over time. This can lead to burnout or loss of motivation. Clear suggests being mindful of this tendency and maintaining a balance between consistency and flexibility. Clear also discusses the importance of self-awareness in habit formation. Being aware of your motivations and goals can help you avoid becoming too rigid or obsessive about your habits. The author suggests regularly checking in with yourself to ensure your habits align with your values and goals. The author emphasizes the need for flexibility and adaptability in habits. Life is full of changes and challenges, and it's important to be flexible and adapt to circumstances. Clear suggests being open to adjusting your habits as needed and finding creative solutions to overcome obstacles. Clear discusses the importance of mindfulness in habit formation. Being mindful of your habits and their impact on your life can help you avoid becoming too rigid or obsessive. The author suggests practicing mindfulness techniques, such as meditation or journaling, to stay aware of your habits and their effects. Clear also mentions the concept of sustainability in habits. Ensuring that your habits are sustainable in the long term is crucial for maintaining them. The author suggests finding a balance between effort and rest and making sure your habits are manageable and realistic. Part 6. Advanced Tactics. Chapter 16. How to go from being merely good to being truly great. Clear explores strategies for moving from good to great in our habits. He discusses the importance of continuous improvement and the role of feedback and review in achieving excellence. The author introduces the concept of deliberate practice, which involves focused and intentional practice to improve your skills. Deliberate practice requires setting specific goals, seeking feedback, and continuously challenging yourself. Clear suggests applying this concept to your habits to achieve excellence. Clear discusses the importance of feedback and review in improving your habits. Regularly seeking feedback and reviewing your progress can help you identify areas for improvement and make necessary adjustments. The author suggests setting aside time each week or month to review your habits and seek feedback from others. The author also mentions the concept of plateaus in habit formation. Plateaus are periods where progress seems to stall or slow down. Clear suggests being patient and persistent during these periods and continuing to practice your habits. He emphasizes that plateaus are a natural part of the process and can be overcome with persistence and effort. Clear discusses the importance of experimentation in habit formation. Experimenting with different approaches and techniques can help you find what works best for you. The author suggests being open to trying new strategies and being willing to adjust your habits as needed. Clear also mentions the concept of compounding in habit formation. Small, consistent improvements can compound over time and lead to significant progress. The author suggests focusing on making small, incremental improvements to your habits and being patient as the effects compound over time. Chapter 17. The Goldilocks Rule. How to stay motivated in life and work. Clear introduces the Goldilocks Rule, which states that humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are just on the edge of their current abilities. The challenge should be neither too easy nor too difficult, but just right. The author discusses the importance of finding the right level of challenge to maintain motivation. Tasks that are too easy can lead to boredom, while tasks that are too difficult can lead to frustration. Clear suggests finding tasks that are within your skill level, but still challenging enough to keep you engaged and motivated. Clear also discusses the concept of flow, which is a state of deep focus and immersion in an activity. Achieving a flow state can enhance motivation and performance. The author suggests finding activities that are well matched to your skills and interests to achieve a flow state. The author introduces the concept of incremental progress, which involves breaking down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps. This can help maintain motivation and make progress feel more achievable. Clear suggests setting small, incremental goals and celebrating each achievement to stay motivated. Clear discusses the importance of self-efficacy in maintaining motivation. Believing in your ability to succeed can enhance motivation and performance. The author suggests building self-efficacy by setting achievable goals, seeking feedback, and celebrating your successes. Clear also mentions the concept of intrinsic motivation, which involves finding meaning and purpose in your activities. Intrinsic motivation can enhance engagement and satisfaction. The author suggests finding activities that align with your values and interests and focusing on the intrinsic rewards of the activity. Chapter 18. How to stay focused when you get bored working on your goals. Clear addresses the challenge of staying focused and motivated when boredom sets in. He discusses strategies to maintain engagement and overcome the natural tendency to lose interest over time. The author introduces the concept of novelty, which involves introducing new and interesting elements to your habits to maintain engagement. Novelty can help combat boredom and keep you motivated. Clear suggests finding ways to add variety and new experiences to your habits. Clear discusses the importance of adjusting your approach when boredom sets in. Trying new strategies or changing your routine can help maintain engagement and prevent burnout. The author suggests being open to experimenting with different approaches and finding what works best for you. The author also mentions the concept of short-term goals, which can help maintain motivation by providing a sense of progress and achievement. Setting short-term goals and celebrating each achievement can help keep you motivated and engaged. Clear suggests breaking down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps and celebrating each success. Clear discusses the importance of self-compassion in maintaining motivation. Being kind to yourself and recognizing that it's normal to experience boredom and setbacks can help maintain motivation. The author suggests practicing self-compassion and focusing on progress rather than perfection. Clear also mentions the concept of reflection and review in maintaining motivation. Regularly reflecting on your progress and reviewing your habits can help you identify areas for improvement and make necessary adjustments. The author suggests setting aside time each week or month to reflect on your habits and make any needed changes. Chapter 19. The Truth About Talent, When Genes Matter and When They Don't. Clear explores the role of genetics and how our habits can be adapted to leverage our innate strengths. Genetics can influence our abilities and predispositions, but our habits and efforts also play a crucial role in our success. The author discusses the concept of genetic predisposition and how it can influence our abilities and interests. While genetics can play a role in our strengths and weaknesses, our habits and efforts can also shape our success. Clear suggests focusing on developing habits that leverage your natural strengths and interests. Clear introduces the concept of personalization in habit formation. Personalizing your habits to align with your strengths and interests can enhance motivation and performance. The author suggests finding activities that align with your natural abilities and interests and focusing on developing habits in those areas. The author discusses the importance of continuous improvement in achieving success. Continuously seeking to improve your skills and abilities can help you achieve excellence. Clear suggests focusing on making small, incremental improvements to your habits and being patient as the effects compound over time. Clear also mentions the concept of deliberate practice, which involves focused and intentional practice to improve your skills. Deliberate practice requires setting specific goals, seeking feedback, and continuously challenging yourself. The author suggests applying this concept to your habits to achieve excellence. Clear discusses the importance of self-awareness in habit formation. Being aware of your strengths and weaknesses can help you develop habits that align with your natural abilities and interests. The author suggests regularly reflecting on your habits and making adjustments as needed to ensure they align with your goals and values. Chapter 20. The Secret to Results That Last. Clear concludes the book by emphasizing the importance of patience and perseverance. Lasting changes do not happen overnight. They require consistent effort and dedication over time. The author discusses the concept of patience and perseverance in achieving lasting results. Significant changes require time and effort, and it's important to maintain motivation and commitment over time. Clear suggests focusing on making small, consistent improvements and being patient as the effects compound over time. Clear introduces the concept of identity-based habits, which involves aligning your habits with your desired identity. Focusing on who you want to become rather than what you want to achieve can help you develop lasting habits. The author suggests regularly reflecting on your identity and aligning your habits with your values and goals. The author discusses the importance of reflection and review in maintaining lasting habits. Regularly reflecting on your progress and reviewing your habits can help you identify areas for improvement and make necessary adjustments. Clear suggests setting aside time each week or month to reflect on your habits and make any needed changes. Clear also mentions the concept of habit contracts, which are agreements with yourself or others to reinforce your commitment to your habits. Habit contracts can include rewards and consequences, which increase your accountability and motivation. The author suggests finding ways to reinforce your commitment to your habits and increase your accountability. Clear emphasizes the importance of continuous improvement in achieving lasting results. Continuously seeking to improve your skills and abilities can help you achieve excellence. The author suggests focusing on making small, incremental improvements to your habits and being patient as the effects compound over time. Clear concludes the book by reaffirming the power of atomic habits to transform our lives. By understanding and applying the laws of behavior change, we can design our habits to work in our favor and achieve our most ambitious goals. Clear encourages us to continue with patience, perseverance, and commitment, knowing that small, consistent changes will lead to significant and lasting results.